Disclaimer: these safety guidelines are not all-inclusive. All posted safety signs must be followed. In this video, we will review some of the safety rules and procedures that were established under the guidance by design faculty, OEDK staff, and engineering design students to help keep everyone safe while working in the design kitchen. All users of the OEDK must be granted permission to use their RICE ID to access the building. This is to ensure that all users are aware of the safety policies, rules, and procedures for the lab, as well as to certify that they have the appropriate permissions to use the resources. It is not appropriate to allow non-authorized students or others access into the OEDK. The following are some general rules for using any space within the OEDK. In the event that you do not comply with the rules, your privileges to use the OEDK may be rescinded. You must follow all safety precautions which are posted or verbally noted, no exceptions. In case of emergency, call the campus emergency number at extension 6000 or 713-348-6000. Students are not permitted to work alone at night in the OEDK. No food or drinks are allowed in the computer lab or wet lab. It is preferable to have food and drinks in the student lounge and definitely not at tables where computers or chemicals are used. Violating these rules will result in being ejected from the space. Shoes must be worn at all times in the OEDK, no exceptions. Safety glasses must be worn when using such things as power tools, hand tools, cutting tools, and chemicals, including glue. Do not stand on rolling stools or chairs. Use a ladder or step stool for reaching high places and ask for assistance from the OEDK staff. Always be aware of and follow hazard and warning labels and signs. All materials must be stored on or under the table. It is not permissible to lean large objects on the table, lay large pieces of wood, pipe, etc. extending into the aisles or around the tables. Keep floor areas clear to reduce trip hazards. Make sure the areas between the tables are clear so people may maneuver around the prototype area safely. Before you leave the OEDK each day, make sure that you have cleaned and organized your work area and have returned any equipment or tools to the appropriate storage areas. Appropriate use of protective glasses and closed-toe shoes is expected when doing any cutting, drilling, grinding, etc. Please notify your peers around you that you are using any power tool that may produce flying debris. Safety glasses must be worn at all times in the machine shop while any type of equipment is being used. Your eyeglasses, even if they are polycarbonate, are not sufficient when machining. Ear protection may be required depending on the type of equipment being used. Closed-toe shoes are to be worn at all times. Leather shoes are preferred over tennis shoes, no exceptions. Long sleeves, ties, or other loose-fitting clothing must be worn in such a manner to avoid entanglement in machinery. This includes loose jewelry. Long hair must be secured, worn in a bun, or tucked in a hairnet or cap in such a manner to avoid entanglement in machinery. This includes beards. No food or drinks are allowed in the electronics lab. No exceptions. Remove rings, watches, bracelets, etc. before working on energized circuits or taking measurements. These items can provide a conductive path for electricity, which may result in a shock. Also, keep in mind, if someone is receiving an electrical shock, do not touch them. Find a non-conductive material to remove them from the source or remove power from the circuit. Do not attempt to put water on an electrical fire. Soldering stations must be cleaned after use. The stations are shared among all OEDK users and must be clear and organized for the next user. Please notify a lab technician if you find that a soldering station was not cleaned by the previous user. By following the guidelines in this video, you will avoid many possible accidents. Always remember, safety is #1 priority here in the Oshman Engineering Design Kitchen.
Now go make something awesome!